So now I'm going to talk to you about your sketchbook. This is where I think your imagination will really take flight, because you can experiment and try out all sorts of different ideas in here. It's a really big book, so you could have hundreds of ideas that you could try, and it doesn't matter if they go wrong, it's just a sketchbook. So have a bit of fun with it, try out different things with your pen and your pencils, and I'm going to show you a few tips that you can try. So on this page, this drawing at the top here was with my pencil. And because it's a 2B pencil, you can get really nice dark marks and really nice light marks. And you can sketch gently and then build it up and make darker shadows. And what I did was used the pictures that are in your pack, upside down, to give me some ideas. And then I changed them a bit and made them however I wanted them to be. So like this one at the bottom here, that was kind of based on that one there. But I changed it a bit, it doesn't matter. So let's show you. So another thing that you can do is you can stick a bit of tissue in first. I just glued a bit of tissue in, waited for it to dry, and then I drew this bug on top of the tissue. So shall we show everybody how you can do some different things? You're way ahead of me, you're already doing some colour blending there, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Colour blending is a good place to start, Maeve. Mm-hmm. So with these pens that we've got, Maeve started on here. She's just done some stripes next to each other here, but you can practice this in your sketchbook, so thank you, Maeve. So you can draw a butterfly and then practice on that, or you can just practice straight onto your page. So I'm going to just do some scribbles, and then it doesn't matter if I get it wrong, they're just scribbles. So I'm going to do a bit of yellowy scribbly bit. And like Maeve's, I'm going to do a bit of orange. Scribble a bit of that as well. And then I might do some little bits of red. Maybe some red dots might be nice on there. So that's how it looks if it's just been done in pen. But we're going to do something a little bit more interesting with it. We're going to use the other brushes that you've got in your kit, these ones, and we're going to blend those colours a bit, because felt tips, not all felt tips, but quite often, if they're washable felt tips, which these are, then they will move about a bit with water. You'll be able to do things with them. So just a wet brush. I've just got a jar of water here. I've got old jam jars that I use for glue and water and things like that, but it's all washable, so you could just use mugs or glasses or whatever you've got in the house. It doesn't have to be a jam jar. Okay, so wet brush. Let's see if I can do this up here. I'm just going to brush it on, and the colours will start to bleed and blur, and then it's a bit like you're kind of using paints really when it gets to that stage. A little bit splodgy. Okay, I'll take some photographs of that and show you those as well. Oh, it's got really leaky down there, isn't it? But that's quite nice as well. I mean, you might get your dribbly bit to go around the page. That might make some nice patterns. What about yours, Maeve? Do you want to try blending your colours on yours? You know, with that tiny, tiny brush. You want to try it? Does mean though, if you put a bit of water on, then you'll need to let that dry again before you do any more drawing. Is that alright? Yeah? Go on then. You're going to try blending those. So that's what I've done on here. I've done some bits of colour. I've blended them with a wet brush. I've also done that. That's how I did that drawing right at the beginning. That was lots of little bits of different colour, and then blending it with a wet brush. And then when it's dry, you can go back in. That's going to squidge on my paper now. When it's dry, you can go back in and add details. So particularly with the black, I think you probably don't want to do too much black on these until the very end. It's just for details really. So here on this bug drawing, I'm going to add some more tiny dots and dashes. So here I'm going to build some shadows up with little dots, little dashes. And the darker you want them, you can make the dots a bit bigger, or you can make the dashes cross over each other a bit. And the place to try this is your sketchbook. Just experiment with it. Try lots of different ideas, and then when you get one that you like, that you think, oh, that's looking really good, you can try that on your real butterfly or bug. So here I've done lots of little dots around that middle area on that. And yeah, I've made some thick lines around here and some really fine lines as well. I've not done them all the same thickness. The bits that I wanted to stand out I've done quite chunky. I've gone over them a couple of times with the chunky pen, and the other bits I've done really quite lightly. And even on the bee, I think it might be nice to do kind of little hairy bits on the bee, because bees are quite hairy if you look at them close up. So it's quite hard doing this upside down. Might do little hairy bits on the bee. Maybe little hairy legs as well. You have a bit of fun with it. See what you come up with. How's it going, Maeve?
Good.
Did it blend? Didn't you? Yeah, that's lovely. So Maeve's chosen, can I borrow it? Maeve's chosen to follow the lines that we had on that printed butterfly, and I've done the same on mine. I've done some of the lines I've followed, and some of them I've just made them up and just done my own thing on them. So that's up to you what you do. Anything I've missed off there, Maeve? I think that's enough information for people to have a go. Yeah? Fill these sketchbooks full of all their things that are in their imagination. Yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant.